Hi everyone, Janie here. Thanks for stopping by today. I truly appreciate you all so much. Today I have a project that I really hope you like, and if you do, it would mean so much to me if you would give this a thumbs up and share it. And also, I hope you consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if you do, I hope you click on that little bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you all so much, and now let's get started. Zoe loved butterflies and dandelions, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful floating butterfly card. Today I'm going to be using some awesome things that I got from Craftstash, and I'll be using this Apple Blossom Slimline Spring Flutterby stamp and die set, and I absolutely love it. You saw me use it a couple weeks ago, and today I'm going to be showing you a different way to use it. But that's not all. I'm also going to be using this Apple Blossom Bouquet Firework Flowers bundle, and I absolutely love it. I'm actually only going to be using a couple things out of this bundle, but I wanted to show you the whole bundle. So I'm going to be using paper from this paper pad, and they have so many beautiful papers in here. It is just awesome. And they have these stamps. This one has sentiments on it. We've got these with butterflies and dandelions and cool little circles that you can add little bubbles and things, I guess you would call it, to your project. I think it's really awesome. And there are these stencils, which do not show up well on camera because they are white, but they are just beautiful. Let me try to get one up close here for you. They have some of those circles and dandelions on there, and this one also has some butterflies. Oh, they would just show up on here. They are fabulous, okay? And I'm going to be using one of these stencils today. So that takes care of the products that I'm going to be using, and I'll have links to all of these below in the description box, so please check it out. And now let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is die cut these pieces that I need for the card, and as you can see, I'm only using one side of this die, but I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And I'm also cutting the butterflies from white glitter paper. So far, only using half of this Slimline card die that is from Apple Blossom, and it is the Flutterby set. I have cut this piece right here, and I cut that from paper from the Apple Blossom Firework Flowers paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. There is just so many beautiful papers in here. I just love it. And I've also cut a piece of white cardstock, which is going to be the base. And I have also cut a piece of this PVC sheet, which a friend of mine refers to as clear cardstock. You can also use acetate. And on this one, I cut it a little bit further. Right there, you can see the score line coming right down the side of it. And that is going to be going over the top of this. Isn't that beautiful? So that's what's going to help create the floating effect of this card. And I cut it longer and with the score line there because I'm going to be folding that on that score line just like that. See how easy that was? I really love this die. It does a great job. But I'm going to be folding that, and it is going to go, that fold is going to go between the patterned paper and the white cardstock. So no one's going to see that on the back. Pretty awesome, right? Okay, now I have also cut these beautiful butterflies out of a piece of white glitter cardstock from Close to My Heart. And I've left it there for right now because what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide that off from there and carefully onto this piece of paper. So let me move things out of the way here. And I'm going to show you how to use this die as a stencil. So I've got my Distress inks here, and I'm going to be using, let's see if I can get it out of here. Okay, let's try this again. No. Well, give me a minute, I'll dump it out. There we go. It was hard to get out of that little case. But I'm going to be using Cracked Pistachio, if it will focus there. Well, you're going to have to trust me. There we go. Cracked Pistachio. And let's see if I can get the other one out. And this one is Mermaid Lagoon. And I'm going to be using this little brush. You can use whatever blending tool that you have. And we are going to just be inking right in there. Now you can decide, you know, how you want to do it. You can do them all in one color or multiple colors. And I am going to kind of do a little bit of, not really an ombre effect, so not that, but I just kind of want to give the butterflies each, you know, some color. So it's gonna be a little, well, I would say random, but you know what, maybe not. Maybe I'm just gonna alternate butterflies here and do some of them in the Cracked Pistachio and some of them in the Mermaid Lagoon. My original plan up until 2 seconds ago was kind of blending some into each one of them, you know, and I guess I have changed my mind. I can change my mind, right? Don't we all change our mind while we're crafting and go, oh, you know what, this sounded good, but now I think I'll do this instead. So there we go. Got that in there and there and there, and I'm going to wipe this off pretty good here. And we're going to switch over to the Mermaid Lagoon. I can't even talk straight. And we're just going to put that in there like so. This is so easy to do. And by the way, be sure to wipe off your die right after you do this. Look at that. Maybe I'll put, I think that piece comes out, so I don't know what I'm worried about it for. Okay, so just kind of, you know, maybe I'll add a little bit of blue here at the top of these and at the bottom of that one. Maybe just kind of bring it together a little bit more. You know, it's really fun. I'm sorry, but for me, crafting is seeing what happens as you go along. I don't always have a plan, or if I do, sometimes it changes. Okay, now I'm just going to lift this off from here. So we're going to remove that. And we're going to remove that. And I'm going to go remove all of these little pieces here. And then I'm going to come back and show you how cool this looks. Actually, I could show you right now, but I actually want to get over there and clean off my die because I'm kind of picky about stuff like that. So, tell you what, I'll let you see that right there, right now. Get up close. Did that stencil through absolutely beautifully? I still have pieces to get out of here, but there we go. Let me go wash off my die. I'm just going to, actually, I'll show you really quick here what I'm going to do. I have my little chamois, I guess you would call it. I keep it handy for wiping off my stamps, and it comes in handy for wiping off the die as well. And now it is ready to put away. Didn't that come out beautiful? I love it. And that is how easy it is to use a die as a stencil. To start putting the card together, I've got that clear piece of PVC sheet that is folded right there on the score line, and that beautiful paper that I cut out. And what we're going to do is we are going to line them up so that these edges match up perfectly. But before we do that, I am going to take some double-sided tape and put it right along this edge, like so. And I'm going to be using a combination of double-sided tape and my Beacon 3-in-1 glue. So what we want to do, like I said, is get this lined up like so that it's perfect. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to hold it very carefully, making sure that that doesn't come over on this yet. And make sure this is down good. I'm going to remove the backing. Looks like I've got a little piece right here. That's just interesting. I'll add a little extra glue there. Okay, still holding that firmly in place. I'm going to get my glue ready to go here. And I'm going to put some right there where that double-sided tape was not. And go across the bottom there too, just in case. And I don't know exactly how far out that's going to come, but I want to make sure that I have plenty of glue there. And I'll put a little specks right there on that as well. Doesn't hurt to have a little extra. And then I'm going to fold that over and firmly press that into place. And I have excess glue coming out the ends, so I'm going to have to watch for that. And we are going to let this dry a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, and now we are going to be gluing this to the card base. And I know you're going, but it can't be a card base. It doesn't open and close. But that's because this is the part that opens and closes on this card. So here we go. We're just going to add the glue. And again, I'm using my Beacon 3-in-1 because that is my favorite. You can use whatever glue you have. And if you prefer, you can even use, you know, your double-sided tape, except that kind of right here around the edges, I really think we're going to need glue because double-sided tape doesn't really go around, you know, little edges like that. Okay, so I've got that all glued up, and we're just going to put that right on there. Make sure everything lines up evenly. And there we go. But we are far from being done. Here's a better view of those stencils. This is the firework flowers, and this is the butterfly blooms. And I am going to be using the firework flowers, and actually going to be using these little circles right here. So let me bring in the card. I'm going to be using the stencil to add a little sparkly interest to the front of the card. And to do that, I'm also going to be using stickles, and this one is called Stardust. So now that I can see where the dandelions are on the card, I'm going to bring in the stencil, and let me see exactly how I want to do this. You know, I think that looks good. Maybe. Decisions. That's always a tough one. So what I'm going to do is I am not going to tape this down. I don't want to leave any marks on that. So I'm just going to hold it, and I'm going to take the stickles, and I am just going to go around this opening of the stencil. And sorry if I'm quiet, I'm trying to concentrate here. Really want to make sure that you're holding it down good so that the stickles makes it all the way through. You can actually use a little spatula to make sure that it gets all the way through as well, but you know, I did not bring my spatula over here. It is sitting on the other side of my craft desk, or my craft table. So, you know, I could have used a glitter paste to do this, you know, regular stenciling glitter paste. But I really wanted to do something different. You know, I thought I want to try doing this with stickles. And I like showing, you know, different techniques. You know, just like using the die as a stencil, you know, on the butterflies. I just like doing things a little bit different once in a while. Okay, now I'm going to carefully just lift this straight up. And I'm going to move it out of the way and bring that up so that you can see that on there. I just love the way that that came out. And of course we'll have to wait for it to dry, but it's going to leave nice little sparkles on there just for a little added interest. I thought I should say to be sure to wash your stencil off right away and don't let the stickles dry on there. I'm pretty sure the stickles would come off even if it was dry, but why take a chance? Well, off camera, I heat embossed Sending You Butterfly Wishes, and let me see if I can get it to show up there. And I did that on the same paper that I used for making the card. And I had contemplated putting it on the outside of the card, but I've decided I'm going to put it on the inside behind the butterflies. Now, it's not going to be completely hidden by the butterflies, but I think it will be hidden enough. And let's get some glue on here. But there, you know, were many ways to do this, and the reason why I did it on a piece of that paper instead of directly in there is because I was afraid of making a mistake and did not want that to happen. So I'm just going to pull this over here. What is that? Get off from there. And I'm going to put this right here, kind of by the edge. Like so. Okay. So it's right there. And it kind of blends in, not completely, but it does. And I just want to make sure I have it straight. Okay, now there's something I want to show you before I glue the butterflies on. And this is something that I didn't show you in my previous video when I was using the same set. I was kind of doing my own thing, as you all know I tend to do. I don't always use things the way they're intended, but this time I'm going to. So I'm going to show you that these edges along the card that looked random, they're not random. Look at that. They are made to fit perfectly with the butterflies, whether you want the butterflies all the way over to the edge or just partially over. Isn't that just awesome? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the butterflies down, but I'm just kind of going to go down the middle with them, and I will show you why when I'm done. Well, actually, I'll tell you why, because after it dries, I'm going to pull those butterfly wings up to make it look dimensional. So I'm actually, oh, come on, glue. I'm actually only going to be putting glue in the center of these butterflies. And my glue's getting stringy here. Come on, almost done. Okay, so I have the glue just in the center of the butterflies. And I'm going to bring this over here so I can see what I'm doing and line it up. And hopefully I don't stick my head in the way. But I want to make sure that everything is lined up beautifully. And I'm not putting it all the way to the edge because I really like that little edge as an outline showing. I think it looks really pretty. It makes the butterflies stand out even more. So I'm going to let those dry, but I wanted you to see what it looks like if we left it just laying down. It's so beautiful. But I'm going to let that dry, and then I will be right back to pop up those wings, add a few little gems, and finish this off. There we go. I have added the gems off camera. because it would be really time consuming. And now we are going to be pulling up the butterfly wings. And just do it just like that. Just kind of bend them in. And you can be selective about it. You can do it to all of them. And it is just going to bring this card to life. And it's one of the things that I love about this die set is that, you know, these butterflies can be laid flat, they can be layered, the wings can be popped up. There are so many possibilities, and I just absolutely love it. I love bringing things to life and making them dimensional and, you know, just bringing them to life. I don't know how else to say it. But here it is, and you really can't see the dimension so much on camera. But you can see how the butterflies look like they're just floating because they're on that acetate or that PVC sheet. And then there's the pretty stickles on there from the stencil that just add something special. And then you open it, and sending you butterfly wishes. And that's how easy it is to make a floating butterfly card.
Thank you all for stopping by, and I hope you liked today's project. There are links below to everything I used, including a link to the Sizzix Big Shot Plus. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider that too. And if you do, be sure to click the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos or giveaways. And I hope you stop by Crafters Castle on Facebook and also Crafters Castle Challenge blog to enter your creations.